Join me in welcoming our speakers onto the dais. This session is hosted by Mr. Sumeet Mehta, CEO and co-founder, Lead Group, India's only school EdTech unicorn. A former teacher and school owner, Mr. Sumeet founded Lead in 2012 to make excellent education accessible to every child. Rooted in a family of educators, he created the Lead learning system, now used by 60,000 plus teachers across 8,500 plus schools, impacting over 38 lakh students. An alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad and PEC Chandigarh, he lives in Mumbai and is passionate about reading and global travel. Joining him are our speakers, Dr. Amit Bhalla, VP, Manav Rachna Group of Educational Institutions, and Mr. M.V.M. Velmurugan, CEO, Velammal Educational Trust.
Yes, I think if you can give one more mic here. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. You know, all of us are teachers. Once we say good afternoon और सामने से response नहीं आता तो लगता है आप हमारे साथ नहीं हैं. So good afternoon. Thank you. So I think at first if you could just speak a little bit about ourselves, is that okay? Yeah, so hi, I'm Amit Bhalla, so the Vice President of Manav Rachna Group. So we run few schools, universities. We have 12 schools today, and I am a person who is since my childhood going to a school, and I wish that I forever go to a school because that is what I love doing today. And I've always been surrounded by teachers. My mom has been a government school teacher. So she was my first teacher, she is my first teacher, and she will always remain a teacher for me. So my love and respect for teachers come from my home, and the passion comes from my home, where I see how you can change the world with education as the most powerful tool. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. My name is Sumeet. I like to see myself as a son of two wonderful teachers. My parents were teachers, and then I myself became a teacher. Currently, I spend my time running a company called Lead Group, but my passion is to really train and develop school leaders. So I run a program called the 5 E's of School Leadership, and I train teachers. My fundamental focus has been that in India, there are a lot of islands of excellence where we have wonderful schools who are running and serving 2,000, 2,500 students. But India has 270 million students who go to school. And my continuous pursuit is, can we develop models of excellence in school education which can operate at scale and really bring population level transformation and not just be satisfied with islands of excellence. So that's what my current pursuit is. Sir, what about you?
Good afternoon to all. I'm Velmurugan, CEO of Velammal Educational Trust. I'm an accidental teacher. I was a lawyer. I was studying law, and I just popped into a classroom, and I saw certain errors in the way the lesson is taught. Then I started as a teacher. God willing, now my current role is to take care of 42,000 children in 25 schools. And in the last 37 years, I've seen a lot of evolving, a lot of things are evolving. And I always say, as a CEO of a group, especially in the field of education, we are like a F1 driver. Formula One driver, we have to keep the eyes on the track. The minute the eyes are out of the track, we lose a lot of things. And day by day, I used to say to many, I thought I know something. I do not know after 37 years. At the beginning, I did not know anything, but everything was fine. That's where I am. Thank you.
Yeah. See, the idea of this conversation came from a very simple, provocative assertion that I feel that we are losing a massive opportunity today to serve our children. And the reason I say that is that when I look at how schools and EdTechs or school providers currently work, it is a very transactional vendor-buyer relationship. And what that does is it robs our students of innovation that they really need. I'll give you an example. Most EdTechs or most schools service providers would spend a year or a year and a half to think of ideas, build it, and then come and offer it to schools. And then schools will send them to their committees or their teachers to evaluate. By the time that innovation hits a student, 2 years have passed. And the pace at which this world is moving, by the time the innovation reaches the student, it's already old. And my contention is, if we can change this vendor-buyer relationship to a really joint partnership, where EdTechs and schools co-develop solutions, we can actually accelerate our pace of innovation and really ensure our students are benefiting from the latest that they need, versus waiting and really getting stuff which is already 2 years old. So that was the provocative assertion, and I thought it will be good to have this conversation with people who run schools and see what do we need to change to really accelerate the pace at which we bring innovation to our students by changing this vendor-buyer relationship to a really joint partnership or a symbiotic relationship. So that's really the question I would love to hear from Amit and from Mr. Velmurugan.
So, Sumeet, it's a very well thought topic for all of us. Because today, if you see the world, I think collaboration is the key for growth. We need to learn how do we co-create, how do we co-learn, how do we actually work together. The most difficult part, what I'm sure most of us who are working, sitting here are in the leadership role, for us is first to identify the best talent, and our job is to ensure that all of them work together towards the vision of the organization. So working together is the power, and it is the solution what you need today in any and every business. What you just said about EdTech, I see that it is every stakeholder which is touching the education sector today. As I initially said, that education is the most powerful tool to change or create or build the new world which we want to give to our next generation, is to work together. Like since we run schools and universities, I've seen that in higher education institutions, lot of work is happening in collaboration. You will find industries coming and setting up their R&D centers in university spaces, ideating products together, creating joint IPR together, building a solution which is created, tested, validated, and then finally scaled up from the campus. Something like that is what we need to do in the school ecosystem as well. You very rightly said it is more of a transaction relation. So the day you create a product, I'm sure most of the EdTech people or the new innovators who are there in the education sector, once they create a product, till the time it reaches to the student or a bigger number of a student, the technology has already lost its charm of being the new or an innovative product. So that process will become faster if all of us sit together and create. I would even like to see that there are so many stakeholders who are sitting here. Why can't we sit together as different group of institutions and create an institution which is the institution of future? Why do we want that Manav, Rachna should work separately, Amit should work separately, M.V.M should work separately, DPA should work separately, or other schools or other institutions? Imagine if all of us sit in a room, sit on a drawing board and ideate an institution where we share that what all mistakes we did in our institutions, the new child or the new organization which we are creating should not do the same mistakes. They might do new mistakes. You have stakeholders like EdTech companies sitting with you. You have people who have worked with different societies in different regions coming in there. So I see collaboration is the key for growth. Collaboration is the way forward. Collaboration will lead co-ownership. Collaboration will help us in achieving peace. Collaboration will help us in replacing the word competition.
I agree. I think while everybody agrees that collaboration is important, life takes over. And what I mean by that is, all schools are very busy with running operations, admissions, timetable, academic calendar, teacher reviews. We need to create a point in time in the academic calendar of schools where we do something like a goal alignment conversation. What are the goals that schools are chasing, and how can people who are deeply doing research and innovation in technology partner with schools on that growth? I'll give you an example. Today, the biggest challenge that schools are facing are two. One is climate, and second is personalization. All of us know that by 2050, half of India is going to turn into a desert, and about 10% is going to get submerged in water. But in today's schools, if I look at what is happening in the classroom, we're not really preparing our students for life 12 years later. How can we partner to create a curriculum for the future on that? Second, personalization. We all know that the pace at which AI is coming, it is going to make it possible for all 40 students in your classroom to be really, really learning at a pace that is right for them. But we still are running classrooms where teacher is standing in front and 40 kids are in the class. So all the research is happening outside the schools and all the work is happening inside the school. Is there a way to break this wall where people who are doing the research in technology or climate education are actually sitting with school leaders to design the next 1, 2, 3-year plan, and then EdTechs don't have access to trial. Like we don't have students who we can try something and see whether it is working or not. And schools don't have access to research to the extent they would want. So if we can break the wall and see there are ways to work together, then I think we can create a new future. So my question to you, sir, is, given that you run 35 schools, what will it take to start this symbiotic relationship? Or do you think it's even required?
So I will relate from my personal example. We have an in-house EdTech thing. So at least last 10 years we have been doing it. It's called Karka Kasadara. That means learn it without an iota of doubt. So from the designer perspective, in any school there are only 3 things required. One is the management view. Whoever is the owner or the principal or the ACOs, they need a particular dashboard. And the second dashboard is the teacher. Indian teachers need a lot of hand-holding. They don't come from the same school, same kind of training, same kind of B.Ed college, same kind of mentorship. So the second most important thing is the teacher dashboard we create. And the third is student. For a student, when they have something, when something is going wrong, they need someone as a companion bot. So if they are stuck with something, they need the tech to help them to move forward. That's the third view. And fourth, every parent wants to know what's happening for their child. Is there an improvement in the child? And apart from improvement academically, is my child becoming holistic? So if you're imagining that you have to catch up with the digital, I think so most of the schools would be using multiple tech platforms. But look into 4 different aspects. From your eye view, are you able to get all the data you are able to get? Are you able to do the business intelligence based on the data you get? So the simple thing, you want a sport to be played. Do we do a survey where how many of our children like, which sport do they really like? So look into every angle, and if you're able to build all the 4 dashboards, you can do it well. And literally, I'm with my friend in Dallas. We are just starting a reimagining of school, AI company, where we are betting ourselves we need only 7 people to run the school. Currently, I have 100 people to run the school. So we are creating a company where we'll have only 7 people to collect the data from the user directly, and then crunch the data. And with the crunched data, how can we create something? And luckily, my friend who is in Dallas has done enough work in the last 4 or 5 years. And almost 20 of our college students have spent internship for almost 2 years. So with this, we are trying to do something where we have minimum number of people, 4 teachers, 3 administrators, with 7 people, all youngsters. No one is about 25 years. That's the challenge we have taken, and we have just started it, and I hope we can do it. So if at all you think you have to be digital, no other go, that's what I was saying. All our parents are digital native, and if they are digital native, they are going to only be there. And these 4 things are very important. As an administrator, suppose there's an AFO school, they are having 30 schools, how the chief can see all the school, the way it grows. If it is teacher, what are the things the teacher needs? And if it is a parent, what should they know about the school? And if it is a student, whenever they need something, are they progressing? If you keep these 4 designing ideas as the fundamental, I think so, whichever platform, with whomever you partner, you will get what you want, and that's my gut feel. Thank you.
I'd just like to add, Sumeet, what you said about personalization, talking about climate. Everything is happening in schools. Maybe I would suggest and request if you could spend some time in the school. you will see what is happening in schools. Most of these schools today, they are talking about sustainability. They are having projects, they are talking about social initiatives. They are having action plans on social initiatives. They are measuring the impacts, what is happening in the school. They are also working on personalized learning. It is not that one teacher is there in the classroom handling 40 students and just singing one song for everybody of them. It is not like that. Today, every learning is being driven on a personalized basis. There are teachers training which are happening how to create magic in the classroom. When I was in a school, हमारे को सिर्फ टीचर को देखने के लिए बताया जाता था. It is not like that. We are working in an era where students are smarter than teachers. They are more brighter than teachers. So things are on a very, very positive direction, and every stakeholder today has to, what we initially discussed, we need to be in the field of play. You can't sit in your office, in your lab, in your developmental lab and design something based on your experiences as a student or your experiences as a teacher. We'll have to be a student to create what the student needs. And for that, we'll have to go back to school. So exactly. if you are there in the school, you will develop something which is brilliant. And just one more thing, what Sir just said about, dashboard and data. I have seen one thing which is taking a lot of time of the teaching fraternity today is keying in the data. So we want to key in a lot of information. As institutions, do we want that capturing data is the prime area, or using data for decision making is the prime role? So whatever technologies we want to develop, those should be seamless technologies, because I don't want to use my faculty today to just capture data. I don't want to create data which is helping me to control, which is helping me to govern. I would like to create a solution which is helping me to grow, which is helping me to learn more, which is helping me to collaborate more. So these are a few thoughts.
I think you rightly said that in some schools it is definitely happening. I go back to my original point that India has 270 million kids. We have a lot of islands of excellence. Manav, Rachna could be one, Velmurugan could be another. How do we scale this? By ensuring that people who are practicing and people who are designing are working more closely. If there is a way, for example, you said, come to the classroom. Would a person like you be open to a person like me doing research in your schools to develop new models for the future?
I see this as an opportunity for Ravi. So the way you have ScooNews, think of creating something where you can bring everybody on table, where we sit in that kitchen of education, create a recipe and create a product, and then go out of that room.
But that's a wonderful next step.
We can do that.
That will be a wonderful next step. If there's one thing we can take away from this.
I'm ready to host that. If you can curate a plan where every stakeholder sits together and we do it. So I think our time is up. We were seeing the clock there.
Do we have time for questions, or one question? There are a lot of questions coming from that area. Oh, there's one there. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
See, I'll just like to take this question. First thing is intent. If you see your school journey, most of you will agree the primary mathematics teacher, she doesn't talk to a TGT teacher or to a PGT teacher. Itni silos bana rakhe hain humne. Why can't we sit together and decide which is the right way of learning? There are teaching methodologies. If you come and share some idea as a group where you can create it together. So first thing is collaboration, intent and collaboration. So if we want to work together, we can definitely find a solution. If problem is identified, half of the problem is solved. We are moving towards a solution. And teachers training, sharing experiences, जो हम बच्चों से expect करते हैं in a classroom, if our entire learning ecosystem starts doing it, we will be there. Collaboration, project-based learning. How can we build a project-based teaching for us?
I would close up only one thing I would like to say. Years before, when we were a principal, we had to go to a library or a reference book. Today, I have at least 30 principals working with me or 100 ACOs. I always say, whatever pops up as your question, you got an answer. Like, for example, she was talking about reading. If you need to improve reading levels, you just go and look at the technology part as a support. You have n number of support systems available. Only thing, as a principal, we should always ask, questions pop up, we should immediately ask, either in ChatGPT or Google or any platform, do I have a solution for my children? And touch wood, you have a solution. Yeah. And that will take you up.
Completely agree with you.
And any principal have to be really tech. Otherwise, you are lost because someone is robbing your children and you are in the old model. You can never survive. So I always say, eat rice, research whatever you want, you will get. Try to be innovative and creative. And the minute you are researching, you're innovative and creative, then go and execute. Don't do what you have been doing all the while. Just question yourself, ask for it, and you'll make a tremendous change in the children. Tech is only a tool. Tech is not all. That's the reason I saw someone clapping the minute data entry. It is not data entry. What do you do with the data? How you do with the data is very important. Thank you.
They'll not give us more time for any question. I think we can have some questions off the stage now.
We can talk off stage. Balaji is very, very strict that we have to get off the stage now.
No, we will.
Thank you, speakers. Now we'll have Mr. Ravi Santlani just felicitating our speakers.